Torah Kufin and Hay Likutei Moharan. This is in the first chelek. Yeah, I already put a bookmark there. Yeah. The idea is because it's mimachazik in Amuna, betochen, and the biggest eight. If we're about to have a new year, for panasa is to daven the Baal Shem Tov says to daven for when betochen before you daven for panasa, because that will bring the panasa. And even though this is talking about some other things also, but it's a very broad Torah. It's a Torah that covers a lot. And it changed my life, this Torah, honestly. It's probably like the one I remember the most. So I think if something sticks out after... I've been learning Rabeinu since I walked into Yiddishkeit pretty much in 1998. I ended up by Breslov and Mesharim with Shlomi Lifshitz. He's Vadai in Uman. He went weeks ago, you know. I met his son the other day at Simcha and he was like, I said, your father? He said, already in Uman. Yeah. And he's a very big Breslover. He was by a student by Shlomo Kalibach. It's probably maybe... Shlomo knows who he is. He's a musician as well. So, but he's Breslov Mesharim and Breslov Anshe Moharan, all that chevra. And I had the chus to learn with him, and that was my beginning. And then I learned with that Rav Moshe I mentioned in the shir just now. Rav Moshe gave over the shir he was a huge Talmid Chacham, and he gave it over very clear. For some reason I keep forgetting his name. It could be because he's the kind of rabbi who doesn't want his name mentioned, and I think that's the reason. My reason I can't remember his name. As soon as we walk out, I'll remember his name. But once it's being recorded or it's in front of people, his name becomes hidden. So that probably shows he's a real person. Anyway, so it says here, Torah Kufnin Hey, yeah, and the Likutei Moharan, as I mentioned, when you're learning Rabbi Nachman, you have to remember he has the koyach to make his Torah into tefillah and his tefillah into Torah. No other tzaddik, as far as I know, maybe there were, but it was a chiddush from Rabbi Nachman. I heard this from many Breslovers, that he was miyachid Torah into tefillah and tefillah into Torah. That's why he has Likutei halachas, which then got turned into Likutei tefillahs. It all becomes this yichud of Torah and tefillah. Usually we keep them separate, the time for learning, time for davening. But Rabbi Nachman has a kind. I once heard it from Morgenstern as well, actually to this concept that he had the power to miyachid both. And so you're learning, you're davening, you're learning, it's all connected. So really this should be one big tefillah for us to be able to live up to all these concepts and improve our life and bring rachamim to Am Yisrael. Okay, kufnun hey, atzvus hu mida ra ma'od. Sadness is a very bad mida, yeah? If you want to translate, welcome, I'll start off and then you take over. We'll take turns. Ma sha'adam einu noseh l'sadik. Yeah, why does a person not go to the tzaddik? Who machmas atzvus kvedas? So why am I by Uman? Because of my atzvus and kvedas, according to Rabbi Nachman. That's what he's saying right now. I didn't know that. I forgot this part. This is how he started, but Hashem put it to me right now. Okay, good. I makabel the musa. What's the reason that I have the atzvus and kvedas without taking it too personally? It's because I didn't daven properly. Who machmas atzvus atzlus. And what's that? What's the reason of that? Because, once again, sadness and laziness. Hainu machmas chesoren amuna. What's the reason? Because I have a lack of amuna. Yeah? I mean, he said, we want panasa, you have to have amuna. Rav Arush never said to me, I have a chesoren amuna. Chaste Hashem. Some of the people around him once said it to me. That guy stopped working there. And I don't know if he's involved with Breslov B'chal anymore, so... Maybe he had the chesoron and amuna. Anyway, but b'vadai im haylo amuna shlema. But certainly, if he was to him amuna shlema, yeah, if he had amuna shlema, hayu mamamin shashem yisbrach omed alav. Then Hashem, he would believe that Hashem would, may his name be blessed, would stand upon him. Yeah. Because remember, amuna shlema is a very big madrega. It means complete amuna. That means not like there's no wavering. Yeah, there's no
it's through and through amuna.
Yeah, it's complete. It encompasses everything, and like you're never like worried. You're not stressed. You're like amuna. Everything's going to be gavaldik. You know, like it connects with betochen as well, but it's amuna shlema. Ha'mamin sh'Hashem yisbach omer alav. The Kodesh Book standing with him. V'shomer kol diva v'dibor sheyotzim epiv. Because that's what I was trying to give that over. I don't know if I managed during the class. But the idea that when you're saying him Rachamim, it's not just you're saying it to get rid of these bad gezeres from the scary king. No, Hashem himself is connecting with you with patience, arichas apayim, and it's meant to make us more arichas apayim. Meaning there's a process when there's no pressure here. Chill out, man. Relax. And that's really important with Yiddishkeit, because I feel one of the biggest Yitzharas, and I think what caused that Eitz Adas, and really it's the Ikapagam was a Chesron and a Munah. I think it's an Akudah of lack of a Rikas Apayim. That's why I brought this Torah down, because it's a lack of patience. They couldn't wait till Shabbos.
They're very connected.
Yeah, they couldn't just wait till Shabbos. Rabbi Nachman's going to say it is connected. One thing he's going to say, but the concept he makes that he makes yichudim, he makes unifications. I was very into that unity. He'd believe that Hashem standing upon him and hearing every word that comes out of his mouth. Ma'azin the kol tefillah, and he's hearing every part of the kol of tefillah. And then there wouldn't be any kind of like sadness and laziness and heaviness in his tefillah. And I think this is really important. We're about to spend a month of davening, basically. If you really break down Tishrei, it's like it really is a month chodesh of tefillah. Yeah. More than even Pesach. Pesach, you're busy running around matzahs and
this is
getting ready for cleaning the house.
A lot.
So really, like more than Shavuos, which is only 1 day or 2 days, depending on how it falls out. The Chodesh of Tefillah is Tishrei from the whole year. And that makes sense, because if you want bracha, you have to daven first. And if you want success, you have to daven first. One of the reasons why I have a big business decision to make, I told the people I'm waiting until after the Chagim. Now, it comes out, if I do that, I'm actually going to have shalom bias problems. Because my wife's like at a point where she can't take it anymore. So I have to make a b'shara, make the shalom. So I said, okay, after Rosh Hashanah. At least give me Rosh Hashanah where I can not...
Who's this recording going to?
I don't care.
Nobody, right?
Go to Mashiach.
I was to say, I mean, I'm sitting here trying to tackle that exact inyan as well. It's like,
I mean, you don't want anyone to hear this.
Nah, I'm saying...
we can turn it off.
No, I don't care. It's But
here we go.
I called to say is it okay if I learn now?
Yeah.
And the answer is sure, no problem. And I said, okay, so it's okay. Half an hour, what's good? And at this point, it doesn't even matter.
It's past that good point. I know those times.
Okay, so
I love that. That answer's the best, because then like you're in deep water.
I like that you're taking it. That it's the best. Baruch Hashem.
No, because I'm like when I ask you how's Panasa going, you say it's amazing. It's that kind of best. Meaning when it's really difficult,
it's the best.
Like incredibly difficult, but really it's the best somehow.
Mamash.
It is.
So I'm sitting here and listening to the tefillah of the Torah of Rabbi Nachman.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I've been on hiatus for a long time.
Yeah.
I haven't learned Rabbi Nachman Torah in...
So this is a good one to start on.
Like inside?
This is perfect.
12, 13 years.
Because one, you're going to be patient with your reconnection.
Maybe like 15.
Connect to Rabbi Nachman patiently. One of my sons, thank God, he's worked the whole summer. Shem should bless him, mamish. Amazing what he's done. He worked the whole summer. You know what Surah Merah that is for a 15-year-old? He literally went every day. He became the best employee there. Like the boss loves him. To the point where he's asking him, can you leave school early? And the deal was, I'm finishing school and then I'll come work the rest of the year.
Right.
And even there, he's like, maybe you could just come a little bit. No. I said to my wife, do I need to phone this guy up or something? He said, no. He dealt with him. He said he's made a call and said no. Nice. The school comes. Anyway, what's the reason he's been working so hard? One of the Iker reasons, other than maybe Hashem protected him from who knows what this summer. The main reason was he wanted to go to Uman, Rosh Hashanah. But he's underage, so he needed us to sign for him. And I kept finding ways out of it, and I was waiting for some of my friends to give me a ticket like they did last year, and they paid for the transport, paid for the housing, paid for the everything. I came back with leftover money. It was like shefa. Thank you, all these people, yeah? And I wanted to, even when I went to go pay the guy with the money that he gave me, he said, don't worry, I'll just pay the guy myself. I said, but what about the money he gave me? Don't worry about it. So he left that with me, yeah? But the point was, these are a bunch of Ashurim, some of them you might even know they are, but I don't want to say their names. Sure. They don't want to be known. This year, they've done Gornish. They just, maybe because I'm not Baravorish, whatever the reason is, no help towards it, nothing. I even started writing the last few days. Time's running out, man. I got last year I came 3 hours before Yom Tov, so I thought maybe I could still make it. I started looking at tickets today. I was like, it's a lot of money right now. It's like $1,200 minimum, yeah? Just to get to Romania, and then from there I need to figure out how Moldova, you can't even get a ticket. So I was like, wow, it's really like at the end of the road. So my son, what was his reaction? That means he's not going, because I'm not signing for him to go. And he has to go with me. I don't want to go with some person I don't know. To give him the legal rights in a war situation. So I want to go. And if it was someone I knew well, like one of my friends who took responsibility, but none of that conversation never came up with anyone. So he was at first really upset. Yeah. Anyway, so I phoned him up today, and he's helping my wife with the shopping, being a mensch that he is. And I'm like, checking out where he's at, because basically it's over. He tried yesterday, biggest standard, nothing worked out. He said to me, Tati, I'm going Hanukkah, where he will be the age. I said, Kala Kavod.
Amazing.
That's patience. That's Arichas Apayim.
And it's going to be
probably better.
Already, it's a huge reward.
Yeah.
Because I've been there.
Maybe I'll even go with him.
I've been there for Hanukkah.
I heard it's nice.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. Maybe I'll come with you.
Maybe we should go Hanukkah, because that would be much easier.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's much less crowded. And
so maybe this is
our
feel
like you have like
for Hanukkah.
You feel like you have the tzion to yourself.
Yeah, we could like prepare for Hanukkah now.
Ooh,
Like we tapped in, and we're like Rabbi Nachman. There was one Torah I didn't say. I wanted to say it was a beautiful Torah. Hashem put it. Maybe if I speak again tomorrow, it's up to Rosh Shlomo. But I had this Torah I wanted to say. How all the Chagim, everything goes 30 days. Pashtus Vayelech is Elul to Rosh Hashanah. 40 days is Elul, Rosh Chodesh Elul till Yom Kippur. That's Pashtus Savim. Hazinu from Rosh Chodesh Elul is Hoshana Rabbah. All those days of din and importance are all in the Parshas right now. Savim, Vayelech, Hazinu, 30, 40, 52 days. And what's the Kisavo? And what's if you add them all up together? 122. What's that? From Rosh Chodesh Elul to Hanukkah. There's a continuous process that we're meant to be going through this time of year. And Hanukkah, Hashem says, those Hanukkahs I'll give you till then. If you didn't get it right, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Hoshana Rabbah, Simchas Torah, I'll give you till Hanukkah. And some tzaddikim say, if you didn't get it right Hanukkah, you got Shovavim. And some tzaddikim say, you didn't get it right Shovavim, you got Purim. It's almost like by the end of the year already. But Hashem's constantly giving you time to sort yourself out. That's the point. That's the concept. The patience. The Arichas Apayim. Okay, we're going to get into it now when we learn this. Kamala Mashul, a minute well, I was meant to say it, but there's only so much I can say. Kamashul Shamanik and Chita Ba'aretz Tova. That we have a mashul that he puts Chita in the land, in the good land, as I who Gadel v'Samech Yafeh, and it grows beautifully. Ve'enu mazik lo shum ruach, and no kind of bad wind or zikim ramim or any kinds of storms or anything can damage it. Because there is in it a strength to grow and a strength to, it's another kind of, samech means like to sprout and godel means to grow. Alkin eina mazik lo shum davar, and nothing can harm it. Like even if it gets frosty or there's a big rain, it doesn't wash it away. Aval, what if you put it into a land that isn't good? As I who nikrav ba'aretz, it then causes nikrav, like some sort of damage in the land. And there's no ability in that kind of land, bad land, to grow or to sprout and grow. This is the concept. The Amunah is the ability to grow, the strength to grow, the koach and sprout forth. It's a famous pasuk in the Megillah where it talks about Mordechai and Esther, and Esther is Omen es Hadassah. Omen is the concept. If you translate the literal, I suppose he brought up Esther. It wasn't Esther. Her name was called Hadassah. Because that was her other name. She had a few names, but this is one of the names, Hadassah. Loshen, there's a whole reason in the Gemara why Hadassah, but let's see what he says. Loshen Gidul. Omen is Loshen Gidul. Kamosha Amru V'Zeinu V'Zechon L'Bracha, the Rabbanim Holy Rabbis say, Amunah Zeh Seder Zroim. So now he brings a beautiful Gemara Shabbos, which says that Amunah is the Seder in Shas, which talks about farming. There's Zroim, which is planting seeds, etc. So that whole connection between Amunah and Gidul, growth, growing, good land, is all connected to Amunah and this pasuk here. So this is the source, the makor for Rabbi Nachman, and it connects into the Gemara Shabbos. Amunah zeh seder roim. Al ken sheish lo Amunah, because then there is to it Amunah. She bechinas koach hagodah v'koach samech. As I ein mazik lo shum, and then nothing. He repeats the same thing he said before, but the concept now he's brought it down is that nothing can damage it once it's connected to Amunah and growth. And then this is really important. We all need to hear this. We don't have to fear of anything or any person. No corona, no shmarona, no panasa, nothing. We don't have to fear anything. We go Amunah. This is good. And because then he's going to daven, in the right way, in the aspect of correctness. When a Sayal Sadik, and then he's going to go to a Hanukkah to Uman. And he's not going to be scared by anything, even if Corona Shemorona does return in the world, because they are talking about it. And he's going to say you need the papers, and there's a war, and it's freezing cold, and la 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 la. All the eight horrors in the world. You're going to say, you're going to read this. I'm going to the Sadik. When he has a lack of amuna, as I ain't no koch, a god of a koch sameh, as I he nikrab mamish, and he gets like messed up completely. Kama chita hanau, like he said before. Al kain yeshlo atzvus atzvus kavedus hu nikrab mamish, and that's what these horrible things of sadness and asa. By the way, in Chassidus, these are like the eight Torah. They don't say the eight Torah is, I don't know, bittul Torah or, by Ashkenazim, Litvaks is other Yetzirahs. The Yetzirah by the Chassidim, by say Karlin, or if you go to a Tolna as well, my Rebbe.
There's Aslas.
Sadness.
Yeah.
It's like the worst thing. Not just sadness, depression. Worst thing. Worst thing. There can be anything worse. In Chassidus, that's like the Samech Mem. If you want to think of the worst thing in the world, that Chassidus is the opposite of it. My Rebbe says that Simcha should be part of the three absolutes. He said that once. It was a one-time thing he said. Maybe he said it other times when I wasn't there. But the only time I ever heard it once was on the highest point of Tishrei. We mentioned this in the class before. What's the highest point of Tishrei? Simchas Torah. It was Ne'ilas Achag Simchas Torah. This is the spitz of the spitz of the spitz of Tishrei. The highest point. Like Shabbos has the spitz of spitz. The singer that Shabbos, that third meal, Ne'ilas Achag, and he says this concept. The Torah, Kutche Baruch Hu Yisrael, Kuluchad, they're all one. These are the absolutes. Nothing else is absolute. No vodka, nothing's absolute other than Yisrael, Kutche Baruch Hu, Baraisa. Those three things. Says in the Zohar Kodesh. It's brought in the Zohar. I want to add a fourth, Simcha. Now, I never heard anyone say that. It's a Chiddush. But, the point, what I think he's just basically making a dagesh that Simcha, that's how important Simcha is.
Yeah, mamash.
Happiness. So,
think about how he's armed when he comes out with this. Aslas. That's like the
Yetzirah.
Oh yeah, that's
keeping you in bed, non-functional. Or even if you're sitting here,
it's a powerful attack. It's a powerful weapon.
Yeah.
If he's clothed in that, it stops you from doing anything, everything. Just stops you in your tracks. You gotta cut through.
Yeah.
Simcha is the.
Anyway, it's your turn now. So.
Nah, you keep going. This is good. You've heard this so many times. I'm enjoying it. I'm
sure?
With it. Yeah.
All right, maybe do the work. Why not? Zeh b'chinas erech ha'payim. This time. Next time, your turn. Zeh b'chinas erech ha'payim. And this is the aspect of erech ha'payim, of patience. Yeah. Really, it's not the best translation. When we're dealing with English, we're always like loosely explaining these godly concepts. But, if you would understand, erech is like lengthening a payim, the nose or something, whatever that means. So like the nose is a place of...
It's not being reactive.
Yeah, that's why I said proactive. That was my whole concept.
It's just like...
I connected it. That was a chiddush. I never done that before.
You walk into that yelling. Yeah. Took me 3 times.
This shir today I had a lot of chiddush.
It took me till the 3rd time you said proactive to know what word you were saying.
Yeah. Why? Because of my English.
Yeah. I was like, what was it? And then you said it again. I was like, oh.
And anyone can ask me a question.
I literally went like this. I said, oh, missed it again. And then you said proactive, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what he said.
Proactive.
Yes, but like that's exactly what that.
She'ena yira mishum davar. Shouldn't fear from anything. Eina mashgiach or shum bittul v'bilbu v'vadoso, and he should not mashgiach on any kind of bittul, like he didn't make it to Uman this year, or bilbu or balagan and his avoda. Rak osa et shelo. Rak, he should do what is his. You see, in a way, he sort of says it, Rabbi Nachman, you have patience with yourself. Because you're not going to be able to do everything. You're going to miss something. You're going to miss a shir. You're going to miss, a moment where you said the wrong thing to your wife. You're going to miss something. We're human beings. There's going to be bilbulim. Rabbi Nachman's very into the concept. Bilbulim. It means all these like crazy thoughts. I don't know if you ever get moments of bilbulim.
You're joking.
Like you're lying in bed, bilbulim. Things come. Like 1,000,000 miles per hour, your mind's racing.
So that's usual.
So then we don't look at any of that. We just not interested. What? You just do what is his. What you have to do right now. Also, there's nothing that can confuse him. Nothing bothers him. You know, like, I remember just being with Rav Orish and we're like standing around different scenarios. It just doesn't know. Yeah, he just like, meh, you know, people come in with like they're dying, literally. Like people have come in, dying, Dr. Solomon dying another month. And he, you know, he like shows compassion and all the right things you're supposed to do and he davens and, but it's just like a certain ichbas, like I'm not going to let this ruin my day that I had to meet with someone who's dying soon. Like, I don't know how he does it, but, you know, I saw him do it. Only that he will do his avoda and for Hashem Yisparach. Ki erech hapayim hu tali b'chinas emunah. Because erech hapayim is the aspect of emunah.
If a person is living that existence where they wake up in the morning and they say, Kadosh Baruch Hu, let my day just be filled with doing your ratzon. You know, everything I should do should just be in your, like I should be doing your ratzon. That's this. It's having emunah. It's knowing like, okay, so whatever's going to get thrown my way, this is what Hashem wants for me. I mean, if that person could live that way, you know, it's very, very strong emunah, and accepting everything as it comes with like, no problem. This is real avodah.
It is. Ki goes man sheis avodah zara ba'alam Moharan af ba'alam. Now this is really important. That all the time there is in this world of avodah zara, yeah, and there is in this world of avodah zara, Shem Shreinu, yeah. But I know people say, well, what's avodah zara now? It's all fake. It's all like commercial. So it sort of bottles the din of avodah zara. No, I think the fact that narcissism, the fact that the whole OnlyFans, and you know, I know what's going on out there. The real Tumadika Zachin. Unfortunately, I'm fully aware of it. I'm engaged in it sometimes. Hashem forgive me, but I for whatever reason I feel like I have a shlichus to go deal with it here and there, in hidden ways when I have to deal with it. So the point is, and I don't mind being open once in a while about it, but it's out there and it's avodah zarah, mamish. And what does it bring? It brings anger to the world. Yeah, all this stuff out there. It's self-obsessed Cardi B kind of. She's a mamish avodah zarah. She's a bechina avodah zarah. Machshama, yeah, or to go take, you know, just there's different personalities out there, you know, they're just so caught up with their yeshus and their fame and their tivers and ego. You know, I was listening to, I watched a documentary about Elton John because I grew up with Elton John. This is a new story. No one's heard this.
I watched it also.
Okay.
But okay.
Yeah, it's fine. So, Baruch Hashem, Ashrech, what is this? So I grew up with Elton John, yeah?
Yep.
Neuro, you want to hear a story, a chiddush that never heard before?
Sure.
I know you're not Neuro, but that's how it comes. People name you that way. Yeah, I've seen you on flyers as Neuro. Picture you. Yeah, anyway, Rav Yonatan. So it says like this. My father and my mother went out to dinner with my uncle and my auntie. I was just with them this Shabbos, this Sunday. He tells me this story. And Amen. I don't think this is Lashon Hara. I think, unfortunately, it's known. It's all public information. They went out to eat with Elton John and John Reid. Yeah, this is the manager of Elton John and Elton John himself. Yeah, wow. And I just recently watched the documentary. Hashem forgive me. Maybe I sped through it a little bit because it was a bit dirty, but on Netflix. Hashem forgive me. And I was, you know, he's a pretty like. I said to my dad, I was not impressed by him. Let's just say that rather than get into how bad it was. And
not impressed by the people.
I'm not impressed with Elton John. I'm not impressed with him as a person. His talent, yes. Forget about like lifestyle issues and stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the selfishness that he lived with for many, many, many years. The rock star, called of his self-indulgence, without getting to darkness. Shabbat. Anyway, he's sitting there with my father and my mother and my uncle and his aunt. And suddenly these two boys come in, rent boys they're called. You know, this is a Mokum Kodesh, don't want to get too into details. They come in and one sits next to Elton and one sits next to John. And they're having this dinner and they start doing stuff, the rent boys, in the restaurant, to the manager and to this famous, whatever he is, yeah? My father, my wife, my mother, my uncle, my auntie look at each other, say, we have to excuse ourselves, and they left. Wow. Now, that's significant. Why? Because my father's in the business, he was on the rise, and he has been till now, unfortunately. And that from then on, my dad said they lost their deal with him in merchandise and promotion. But like anyway, ended up those two boys ended up defaming him in the Sun and the management in the famous newspaper, and he ended up suing them for a defamation case.
Wow.
It was a whole story. It became very public. So that's why I didn't mind saying it. It became a famous case. But I was just thinking to myself, wow, my dad, my uncle, they lost out on a massive business. They could have just ignored it and, just had a few more drinks, They didn't. And this shows Am Yisrael, there's a certain gvul. We just can't sovel that low. We're just not there. We're not that low. Businesses, as important businesses, as secular Jews, my father's hardly ever learned any Torah. Like minimal shabbat minimal. Yeah? And yet he has the koyach of bechira to choose to throw that away for the fact that that's just not acceptable. It's not there's a values. We don't know, that's why we never understand all these bad shivas like myself. We come from somewhere, we think, wow, what a tzaddik I am, I chose Hashem. Our parents, our ancestors were choosing Hashem all the time, just it was in a very hestedika place. I remember my grandfather, he once went to a mixed service place, and it was very choshev people, a multi-faith experience. Suddenly the Yoshkaniks brought in one of those things, and they wanted everyone out of respect to bow down to it. My grandfather, who was, he was a big famous doctor in England, he used to write with the Prime Minister, the Margaret Thatcher, this and that. Anyway, he turned around and he walked out of it. And my grandma said, I'm not bowing down to this. In front of everyone. Everyone else was bowing and he walked out. That's like Am Yisrael. When there's a Avodah Zorah mamish in the world, and it creates anger, that's what the Rabbi Nachman was learning here, and Am Yisrael have the koyach to fight it.
Amazing.
This battle haranaf, that's through Amunah, yeah? Because Amunah is the heifech of this Avodah Zorah. And then we destroy this anger. Zokin arichas apayim, shu heifech haranaf. Hanu zoch ayidei Amunah arichas apayim. Sharech apa'o kol dava bilbu menias ha'ova alav tfilosa v'rosa. Shisobo akol. Yeah, he's able to sobo everything. Lo yisasev, he doesn't get sad. Lo yisasev, he doesn't get lazy. Lo ayidei zeh klau. It's amazing. Think about this. This is like Tzaddik talking to us, telling us again and again, Amunah, Amunah, Amunah. I was saying in my share the other day, Taini Amunah, Taini Amunah. That's what Rav Arashway says. I've seen him and you're thinking to me, he has enough Amunah. You don't have to keep asking. No, give me Amunah, because it's constantly, it's levels and levels and levels and levels. The Amunah Shlema you're trying to get to. So nothing takes you off your path. You're constantly praying for it. And this is amazing. This is like, imagine for our victim-focused Nebuchadnezzar generation in the sense of their ability to fight this kind of inner battles, and they're go to their therapist. I'm not making fun, but people go to their therapist and they go cry to people. He's saying here, no, you should. He's giving you an answer. Just throw them. You don't even have to get into any of this because you're not sad, you're not depressed, you're not lazy, you're not. It's not affecting your ruach at all. You don't care about all this narishkeit, the bilbulim. You're not part of that. V'yaset shelo v'raso v'yava ala kol v'lo yichush kol bilbulim aminias klau shekol zeh hu b'chinas erech hapayim shezochin ayidei amunah shu b'chinas koach hagadol v'koach hatzamech ki ayidei zeh hu gadol v'samech matzliach b'v'raso ki lo yachol levarvo shum maneh v'apilu v'atzvus v'asus chas v'shalom. The Menah Ayidei Zeh, Chas Shalom. Rak Yaset Shalom Zrizis V'Simcha. See this?
That's the formula.
Yeah, Zrizis, which means, as we learn in Mesilat Yesharim, doing things with intense speed, yeah. But obviously, once again, if you're going with the Fila Mesilat Yesharim or Torah Dika people, it's not just doing things fast. It means to do it with a complete awareness, like mindfulness. You're totally engaged, yeah, the Zrizis.
But the Zrizis is the rush to get into it. It's not necessarily how quickly you're doing it. It's
you have
that's
the opportunity.
True.
You go
zoom
to
the
quickly,
opportunity,
but you're fully engaged.
Yeah. Yes, I get to do that.
Yeah, and the simcha.
I had one of these today.
Yeah.
Best part of my day.
Okay, good.
Best part.
You were
of my
fully
day.
engaged in
I
something.
get a what's it called?
Yeah.
I get a text, voice, and it's Dr. Eagle, and he says,
This guy over here, he's a doctor?
purple shirt, blue shirt.
He's a doctor?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know. Yeah.
And he said the Rav said to be in touch with you because they want to have a 10 o'clock show for blowing.
Oh, you blew good, by the way.
I guess that's why Baruch Hashem.
You blew really good today.
That's why they text. Will you blow at 10 o'clock, which is before the main minyan has shofar
nice.
blowing. So you go up there, do 30 kolot for all the women that can't be in the shul for whatever reason, and for the kids.
Nice.
There's a lot of groups and this thing and that.
Nice.
Is it?
Amazing.
And then I'll come down and mashlim. I just asked the Rav what I got to do. Yeah.
Brilliant. So that's Zvizus, and that's Simcha. And it brings happiness, and that's another thing. Kohanim are called Zvizim Haim. They're meant to be Zoras, Halavai. You see Reb Shlomo, every time he finishes Kedusha, he runs out the shul to go wash his hands. Mm-hmm. And I always say to myself, yeah, there's time. That's my head. And I remember an old tzaddik once come up to me in Yerushalayim. He's one of the Tzaddikim Nistarim. His name was Yosel Simva. He comes up to me in like heart of Mesharim. Ritzei. Yeah. Achshav ze Ritzei. Yetz is Ritzei. He says, Ritzei Loshen Ratz. It means run. What are you doing? You're still washing your hands and they're already up there. Yeah. It was like giving me Musa. It was geschmack. Get it from someone like that. It's worth it.
So the shizut is everything that you have the opportunity to
Simcha.
go to Hashem.
Yeah, and simcha with joy. V'lo yistacha al kol davar bilbulim. Don't look at any of the bilbulim. Klau. Shekol zeh hu bechinas erech hapayim. And this is the aspect of erech hapayim. So we're seeing amuna, bechinas kol goida, v'kol chsamer, kanal. So it's all connected. Amuna, vichas hapayim, simcha, zrizus. I once asked Rav Orish, because I said I'm very close with the Rebbe. His whole thing, Dagesh, is on Simcha. And I've been by you for many years, working with you, and the whole Indian is Amunah. He said, like, what do I do with these two pillars? You know, he said the same thing. Amunah is Simcha, and Simcha is Amunah. I was like, okay, that makes Shalom for me. I don't have to like stress, you know.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. You want to finish off the Torah, or should we do it next time? It's up to you.
I think we should do it next time.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it, but
Eretz Yisrael. We're going to get to Eretz Yisrael. We
probably
made it
smart
to the
for
Holy Land.
Shalom bias to go.
Yeah, we made it to the Holy Land. Baruch Hashem. That's where we're headed. So really to live here, we have to have that patience. You can't rush the process. I've lived here now 25 years, and you cannot rush anything. Can't rush Panasa. It's everything comes when it's supposed to come.
But I have a similar feeling to you because I've been here for 24 years.
Yeah.
This is my first time at a kahila.
Yeah, and that's a blessing.
Mamish. It's amazing. Baruch Hashem.
And I didn't even mention the Moharan. These holy Yidden coming to learn here every day now. You know, that's going to add a whole new thing. I did mention it to Rabbi Yaakov Klein when I was talking to him about it. But I didn't mention it. I meant to give a shvach to that as well, but that will come up another time. Still new. Did you go to the Suda Sunday? Were you there?
No.
The new shir, the new stuff. I wanted to do that, but I wasn't in the country, so.
I could not make it. Great.
Okay, there's Hashem. That will come.
Shkoyach.
So I got this from a shul. Hashem loves you on the back. I was like, that's pretty cool. Like a magazine, you know. And Anti-Semitism continues to plummet. Klal Yisrael's newspaper. I think if someone wrote this like more with a bit of sense of humor, like all the positive things. Interesting, no? Thank you, Hashem. Like a whole interesting. So look at this. This is Rabbi Miller. I have to look at that as well. Didn't get around to it. It was a busy trip. We'll get to it in session. Don't do something right away, you'll get time. Hey, can you blow this shofar? There's an Indian not to blow at night, but is this blowable?
I believe so.
I bought it for my kids once because they finished Mishnayos. That was their Mishnayos Rosh Hashanah. So I bought them each a shofar. It was fun because on the way bus back, they were standing on the bus blowing at the whole
They're trying to. Were they able to?
Yeah.
That's great.
And that kind of kids, they do stuff. I don't know how to blow a shofar. It's not.
You just do,
Don't know how to do it.
makes
So,
its own.
anyway, we should be hearing the shofar blows in Sunday, and Shabbos will hear it in a panemius way.